So here's our code here. We're initializing some global variables, configuring our registers, starting our LCD, and configuring our timers. We're also turning on the interrupts for those timers. Our project this time around is to display the blood alcohol content of the user using a reading from a alcohol sensor that we have attached to the PIC board. We're doing this by well, let's just go into the while loop and look at it. We're waiting for the user to push RB0 down, which is a push button, and then we start a countdown from 5 to 0 that lets the user get ready to blow onto the sensor. So let's go right into that. We start the countdown equals 6, and it immediately gets decremented, so it starts at 5. And then we set timer 0 to 1, which will start our interrupt.
Okay.
If we go up here, timer 0, we set timer 0 to this number, which ends up along with the PS number counting once a second. We decrement the countdown, and then once the countdown is equal to 0, we set measurements equal to 60 because we're going to be taking 60 measurements. We set our sum back equal to 0, and then we trigger the interrupt for timer 1. In timer 1, we set our value, which we calculated so that I believe it triggers once every 10 milliseconds, and so after 5 seconds we'll have 60 measurements. Each time we take a measurement, we decrement measurements, and we add the voltage reading to a variable called sum. Once we've taken 60 measurements, we assign total equal to sum, and we use that value down here to display the blood alcohol content. We have a threshold here so that we're not just getting miscellaneous readings. We do our blood alcohol content calculation here. I'll go into the details of it on the report because it's a little long, and we display it on the LCD.
So here's our board here. We are running a breathalyzer on the PIC board. When we press RB0, a countdown begins where you bring alcohol near the breathalyzer sensor. After the countdown begins, it takes a bunch of readings and it averages them out, and it scents the alcohol.